Being part of a military family means knowing how to wait, but patience is always rewarded with unforgettable reunions, which we're going to share with you in today's touching episode. Sometimes it seems like all siblings do is fight and bicker, but separate them for a while and you'll see the love shine through. This girl was about to tell off whoever photobombed her graduation picture, but when she saw that it was her brother, she realized that it was the best ruined photo of her life. This soldier waited so long to see his wife that he just couldn't wait until her workday was over. I bet she felt like the happiest woman on earth at that moment. This servicewoman was expecting tears of joy when she decided to surprise her mom. Well, her mom's reaction didn't disappoint. Since the very first day of his service, she never stopped counting down the days to their reunion. Now she gets to count their kisses. This tiny princess is already 3 weeks old, and she still hasn't felt the warmth of her dad's arms. Don't worry, sweetie. From now on, Daddy will always be there for you. Despite choosing to serve their country first and their personal happiness second, their love only grew stronger. A graduate only runs off stage this joyfully when it's into her dad's arms. The rest of the world can wait. These two haven't seen each other in far too long. It was supposed to be just another gray day at work, but then a certain person showed up and painted it with all the colors of the rainbow. Happiness comes in many forms. For this family, it took the shape of a son and brother who came home safe and sound. You could call this the perfect family photo shoot, but it's missing one detail: a soldier who made it back home just in time for the holidays. For this girl, school will forever be a special place. It's where she finally got to reunite with her soldier brother. Shock, disbelief, and tears of joy. That's just a fraction of the emotions flooding this girl when she sees her military sister. She missed her so much. Children of soldiers are actually some of the strongest people in the world. They rarely get to see their parents, making every moment with them feel like a precious gift.
It's the best, Dad.
This clip will make even the biggest skeptic believe in magic, because that's exactly what helped bring this family back together.
Welcome home.
Sergeant Brent Sanders couldn't let the most important women in his life be sad on Thanksgiving, so he surprised them by coming home early from deployment. This girl's parents decided to give her something special when they noticed how much their daughter was missing her soldier brother, and that something was worth more to her than any toy. More than anything in the world, these kids wanted Spider-Man and their military mom at their birthday party, and the universe granted their wish in a unique way.
Happy birthday, man!
A healthy father is probably the greatest gift you can give a child on their first day of middle school. This soldier decided to surprise his kids in hopes of making up for his long 6-month deployment.
Daddy! Daddy, you're home!
Do you think they'll forgive him? I think they already have. When this soldier found out his wife was pregnant, he didn't waste a single minute. He took leave, coordinated with family members, and planned the most unforgettable day for his favorite person. Ask any fan in the stands who won the game that day, and most of them will tell you they just remember the magical moment an airwoman reunited with her family. Not a day of service went by when this soldier didn't dream of hugging his kids again. And today, it's finally happening. You can only imagine how many long dog years this pup waited for her owner to come back. But this joyful reunion was totally worth it. For the past 8 months, this girl had only seen her dad and brother in her dreams. So imagine her surprise when her dream came true right in the middle of class. I bet this guy is as good at surprises as he is at his military duties. Just look at her reaction. I doubt she'll ever let him go again. A year of service transformed an ordinary young man into a brave soldier, but his love for surprising his grandmother remains unchanged. This U.S. Army specialist had not 1, but 8 reasons to come home. We could list them all by name, but let's just say they missed their sister very much.
It's amazing. I wouldn't trade it for the world.
A bad son makes his mother cry with his terrible behavior. A good son makes her cry with his return from the Marine Corps. A father's bond with his daughter is always special. The thought that it could have been broken breaks my heart. Some people cry when their loved one comes home. Others even let out a not-so-family-friendly shout, as long as it always ends with a kiss. The first thing this soldier did after coming home from duty was head straight to his sister and mother's school to surprise them. How could you not smile at that? Right before your eyes, this tennis match is about to transform into a scene from a tear-jerking movie. And the main character? This woman's son, who has come home from Afghanistan earlier than planned. If someone had told Emily what this tennis serve would lead to, she would have been shocked and then absolutely overjoyed. She's dreamed of a proposal like this her whole life. This soldier is truly a lucky man. He returned safely from service and even got to see his daughter's first steps. This soldier knows exactly what makes his girlfriend happy. No, not flowers. Just coming back after so long is enough. I really hate the stereotype that men don't cry. You try not to cry when your brother hugs you for the first time in a long while. We don't know the names of these women, but you can call them heroines. They fought for their country, faced countless challenges, and now they're back together with their families. This girl's name is Kendall. She thinks her dad is currently stationed in Guantanamo, so she's feeling a bit down. And this is Officer Dale Williams, Kendall's dad. He took a few days off to spend time with his daughter, so he's very happy. Can a single kiss make up for 213 excruciating days apart? This couple proves it can. For For the last 5 months, this Marine has constantly visualized the day he'd see his family again. And let's just say reality far exceeded his expectations. A photo shoot usually gives a girl tons of positive emotions, but sometimes it also brings a loved one back home to make a breathtaking proposal. After 2 years of fighting in Afghanistan, Marine Bailey Leonard returned to watch his brother Myers play. Their reunion will make you feel the power of brotherly love. 7-year-old Olivia couldn't find out why her teacher had blindfolded her until she heard a familiar voice.
This person's been missing you a lot.
One she hadn't heard in 5 months.
Are you happy? Yeah?
And this boy just won a free book. At least that's what he thought. But he actually got a much better prize. When it comes to creative marriage proposals, this soldier is second to none. And of course, she said yes. The best Christmas gift is the one dressed in a military uniform and in your arms, said every soldier's mother ever. If this family feast wasn't feeling all that festive, this Marine definitely turned it around when he arrived. With some help from teachers, Sergeant Jason Webb set up an entire school event to surprise his daughter.
Are you surprised?
Isn't that sweet?
Are you surprised?
I guarantee you won't be able to stop smiling while watching this video. This couple is too adorable. Before being deployed to Afghanistan, a soldier named Allie made her sister promise not to cry over her. Well, that promise can now officially be broken. This dog was literally frozen in shock when it saw its owner. Its body language seems to be saying, "Wait, he came back to me? This is a miracle." You can be the toughest soldier in the world, but you still won't be able to hold back your tears in the arms of your own kids. The few inches between these two probably felt longer than all the miles that separated them for so many months. His mother watched him take his first steps, and now she's watching him become a real soldier. She has always been by his side, and he will never forget that. Christmas and other holidays don't really matter to this family. They live year to year waiting for the day that their husband and father is granted leave, hoping this time they can be together just a little bit longer. These two girls have a special reason to celebrate today because their favorite man has become a soldier and they came to congratulate him. This family felt sad taking their group photo because one important member was missing, but now everyone's finally together. What do you see on your screen here? I see two sisters whose bond, tested by time and distance, has only grown stronger. This girl can't even remember the last time she hugged her dad in person instead of through a phone screen. Finally, he's home. In case you're wondering what a scream of shocked joy sounds like, here you go. 21,915. That's how many hours this family has waited for their son to come home. It's moments like this that truly heal the soul. These reunions could melt even the biggest iceberg, am I right? This soldier's mom would often stay late at work to distract herself from missing her son, but those lonely days have finally come to an end. What's the first thing a soldier does right after returning from the service? Go surprise their brother, of course. Here's all you need to know about this man. He hasn't seen his daughter in 5 whole years, and he's missed her like crazy. Now, take a look at Grandma's reaction when her beloved granddaughter shows up. It's priceless. This soldier had a goal: to be back home by the end of his daughter's school year. And as you can see, he made it. There's only one thing brighter than the sun: the smiles of a father and daughter reunited after 7 months apart.
I love you.
The thought of his sweetheart in a white dress motivated this soldier throughout his difficult service, and it was all worth it because now that dream has come true. Who is this woman searching for so eagerly among the crowd? Well, probably the son she's been dreaming of seeing for a long time. This reunion doesn't need many words. The emotions on both of these girls' faces says it all. It's hard to say what was tougher for this woman, going through military service or being separated from her family. Thankfully, both challenges are now behind her. Right now, this soldier is on his way to a hospital room to see a very important person. Thanks to the Red Cross, he managed to get a week's leave, all to support his dad before a major surgery. The only people who get enthusiastic welcomes like this are superheroes, husbands, and fathers in the military. Then again, this soldier is all three. If you see a woman in a military uniform running somewhere, rest assured she's on her way to surprise her mom. These service members have just returned from a difficult 6-month operation. Seeing them alive and in the arms of their loved ones is simply the best. How do you like this emotional reaction? You don't have to be a psychologist to understand just how thrilled she is to see her son. This soldier came back home several months earlier than expected just to see his brother's shocked face. This soldier worked hard to make it back home in time for Thanksgiving, and for a reaction like that, he's willing to do anything. This woman put her duties as a military medic on hold for a few days to come support her daughter at a school event. I don't know about you, but I'm sobbing. This soldier could easily win the Grandson of the Year award for the way he surprises his grandparents out of nowhere. It seems like this girl has been preparing for this day all the months she and her man were apart, because the speed with which she reacts to seeing him is simply incredible. This sweet lady can't hold back her tears at her husband's touching gift, but there's another gift she's been longing for even more. This girl is keeping a close eye on passers-by so that when she sees that familiar face, she won't waste a second. After a football game, a player on the white team thought the hardest part of his day was over, but the toughest part was yet to come. because now he has to hold back tears when he sees his father, who's just returned from duty. One of the strangest things a mother can hear on Christmas Eve is, "Mom, where's the can opener?"
Mom, I can't find the can opener.
But not when it's said by a voice she hasn't heard in nearly a year. An entire family joined forces to reunite a mother with her soldier son. Do I even need to tell you that the surprise was a success? Imagine waiting so long for your best friend to come back that you literally can't stand when you finally see them. This is the best surprise a soldier returning from service can give his little brother. At this cheerleading competition, one of the girls didn't have anyone to support her because her military mom was far away. Fortunately, she's about to realize that regardless of the judges' scores, she's already a winner today. This soldier may have only been away from home for a couple of weeks, but for his brother, it felt like forever, and here's proof. While this girl was still trying to figure out if she was dreaming, her soldier boyfriend didn't waste a second to get into her arms. These kids were told that they were getting a gift, but they never suspected that it meant they'd get to see their dad again. Let's hope they get to stay together from now on. This father hasn't seen his soldier daughter in over 5 months and wasn't expecting to spend the rest of the summer together. You can tell by his sincere confusion that the surprise was a success. When this young soldier's mom was ordering drinks, she couldn't have imagined that a simple trip to a restaurant would make her the happiest woman in the world.
Welcome home, buddy.
Military service had separated these sisters by thousands of miles, so when Kate took to the stage for her performance, she had no idea that Carrie was only a couple of yards away. This girl didn't even know if her brother would make it back home, but she held out hope every day for this exact moment. Check out this girl's reaction to her father coming home. She hasn't been able to hug him in over a year. Now, she's not letting him out of her sight. At the last second, a Marine was granted leave for just 1 day so that he could make it to his sister's wedding and make her special day even more special. This soldier was able to get off a few days early, also he could put together a special delivery for his mom. Watch this reaction from a mother whose son has been away from home for way too many months. She can't believe it's not a dream. Every time this soldier called his parents from the military base, they would tearfully ask him if he was doing okay. Well, now he won't have to use the phone for that anymore. This is the moment that this woman realizes her new life starts today, a life with her love by her side. This girl thought that the best part of her day would be seeing her boyfriend again. But he had another trick up his sleeve. This soldier's grandmother was afraid she wouldn't live to see her grandson return from service, but 1 year later, fate gave them a chance to hug again. She was so happy she fainted, but don't worry, she'll be fine. This soldier only had a few days of leave, and he never regretted spending them all setting up a surprise for his reunion with his daughter. Every day for 5 months, this girl's family thought about what they would say when they saw her again. Now, that moment has come, and words aren't necessary, because these hugs say it all. Every day for a year, this soldier's mom prayed for him to come home from deployment in the Middle East. And today, her prayer has been answered. You only need 3 things to take the greatest family selfie of your life: a camera, a good pose, and a surprise reunion of all its members. This is the one time this girl is happy that her mom isn't picking her up from school. This boy's biggest dream was to see his brother, whom he hadn't seen in over 300 days. Luckily, today, 2 dreams are coming true because his brother has been dreaming of the same thing all this time. A safe and sound son is all a military mom needs to jump for joy when they finally see each other again. This soldier told his family he'd be arriving next week, but only to capture moments like this with his loved ones. Even though this soldier was trained in the army not to show his emotions, he couldn't resist hugging the 2 most important girls in his life. Yes, this woman is wearing a Santa hat, but today it's her military sister who will be handing out the presents. And the first one is a long overdue hug. This woman decided to surprise all of her friends by coming home one evening, and there was no better place to do so than a party. It's moments like these, when service members reunite with their children, that you realize the sacrifices they make for our safety. When this boy saw a silhouette in uniform nearby, he immediately knew his mom was back from duty, so all he had to do was finish his performance so he could do this. This good boy can sense that something's about to happen, but doesn't know how happy he's about to be in 1 second when he sees his owner. This woman had already accepted that her brother wouldn't be able to make it to her wedding, but when a soldier gives his word to his family, he does the impossible for them. This guy's family knew how much he missed his best friend who was serving in the military, but all they could do was wait for the day when they could help organize a surprise like this for him. This girl knew that her military brother always sent the best gifts for the holidays, but she definitely wasn't ready for this one. Just in case you were wondering what the best part of any military service is.
That's how I showed mine.
Waiting for a son or father to come home from duty is hard, but it's even harder to maintain a romantic relationship over thousands of miles. Luckily, now nothing can stop this couple from finally starting a family. This gymnast dreamed of seeing her brother in the audience every time she performed, and today's her lucky day because he'll never miss another one. These twins were sure they'd be performing without their dad cheering them on, but it seems Santa finally got their letter this time. This young man's father understands that even serving your country can wait a day if it's your son's graduation. For the last 6 months, this girl had only seen her dad on a computer screen, and today's their last video call because they won't need a webcam anymore. This guy promised to get back from the military to his little brother as soon as possible. But he didn't mention he'd do it this quickly. This family used to think Christmas gifts only came under the tree, but their soldier son proved otherwise. Everyone knows that all it takes to make a grandma happy is to see her grandson. So imagine how happy this grandma must be to see hers for the first time in 6 months. In the span of just 1 second, this woman gets scared, delighted, and cries at the scene of her niece. When this woman sees her airman among the soldiers at the Air Force graduation, she practically flies into his arms. This woman had accepted that she would be celebrating her birthday without the man she loved most. But that man couldn't stand the thought of missing the opportunity to tell her he loved her on this special day. When this bride sees a video message from her brother, she can't hold back her tears. But she doesn't know that this surprise will be followed by an even bigger one. Here's another love story where a couple reunites after a long time apart. And yes, now they're together forever. You don't know what pure happiness looks like until you see this mom's incredible reaction to her son coming home. This girl decided not to wait for her military boyfriend to come home and headed straight to the runway so she could see him as soon as possible. Today, this young man decided that he's never coming home to his girlfriend again, because now he'll be coming home to his wife. Here's what happens when you suddenly show up to your family after months of being away. That's right, non-stop hugs and tons of happiness. For an entire year, this kid dreamed of seeing his big brother, but he didn't think his wish would come true today. Imagine how this little girl must feel after suddenly receiving flowers from her biggest fan in the audience, her dad, who she hasn't seen in such a long time. Words can't do this reunion justice. Just look at the emotions of a girl who can't believe her dad has finally made it to her competition. Don't dry your eyes just yet, because this guy isn't done spreading happiness. Admit it, the only thing better than military homecomings are unexpected military homecomings. This woman hasn't seen her son in so long that she's literally scared when he suddenly shows up at her work.
I know I am, Mom. I love you too.
It takes this boy just a few seconds to realize that his dream of his brother coming home has finally come true. How do you make your return from service even more memorable? Well, just pop up out of nowhere right in front of your other half. Believe me, the details don't matter. Just look at this mom's emotions and listen to the sound of pure happiness. This is Battle and Harper, and they haven't seen their dad in over a year. It's hard to imagine how they feel right now after waiting way too long. This soldier's sister didn't even invite her to the bridal shower because she knew getting leave from the military would be impossible. Well, not for someone who would do anything for you. True love is when your family can't wait a single day to see you when your service is over and comes to surprise you themselves. But homecomings aren't just joyful for loved ones, our pets get excited too. Words cannot express their happiness. This woman doesn't count the days since she last saw her son because it hurts too much to know how long they've been apart. Luckily, she won't have to worry about that anymore. Every military kid deserves a moment like this. Because all they really want is for their parents to be with them. By all calculations, this soldier wouldn't have made it to his wife's delivery, but since a father shouldn't miss the birth of his child, he did everything he could to be there with her. This military woman had a hard time waiting for her vacation, but it was even harder for her to resist shocking her brother by showing up unexpectedly. Just look at them embracing each other. Get ready for the cutest military homecoming ever, because the way this little girl greets her daddy will definitely make you smile. As you can see, these guys are confused about why they've been called to the principal's office. But don't worry, their sister will explain everything. It's moments like these that make serving your country worthwhile, when a father's hug silently tells you, "I'm proud of you, son." Imagine how this guy feels counting down the final seconds before he can hug his cute little family again. This military man didn't find his sister at home when he returned from duty, so he wasted no time and headed straight to her workplace to make her day. This student thought he was in trouble when he ended up in the principal's office. He had no idea that the surprise of his life was ahead of him.
Happy birthday to you.
Picture the surprise of these kids who are recording a video message for their soldier father, not knowing he's listening to it live. Just 72 hours ago, this sailor was on a ship overseas, and today he's fulfilling a promise he made to his girlfriend, that he would be at her graduation. This girl's dad missed her entire last school year due to being deployed, but she's not crying about that. She's just so happy that they'll never have to be apart again. This sailor found the sweetest way to surprise her mom. You can feel the emotion through the screen. When this woman spotted a silhouette in military uniform at the door, she immediately knew that the wait for her son was finally over. This military father of two just couldn't wait for his kids to get home from school, so he showed up at their classroom. Do I even need to say it was the best day of their lives? This sailor missed so many family celebrations because of his service, but he couldn't miss his mom's graduation. Meet Air Force mom Jody, who spent 4 months at a training ground away from her 3 kids. Today, she managed to get a couple of hours off to surprise them at school. Imagine how long she's dreamed of hugging each of them. These 2 pups had been waiting so long for their owner to return that they even recognized his footsteps behind a closed door. Did you know that if you combine months of separation with boundless love and a touch of surprise, you get the formula for the perfect homecoming? While this nurse was getting ready to start her shift, her husband was preparing to surprise her with his return. And he totally nailed it.
I know.
This is Austin, and he told his mom that his deployment to Afghanistan had been extended for another month. Luckily, he was lying.
Oh my god!
This little pup sensed his owner's return before the door even opened because he had been waiting for him every day, every second of those months apart. Believe me, a surprise homecoming isn't the only thing this soldier can pull off to amaze his girlfriend. Or should I say, fiancé. The last thing you'd expect to see on your way to school is your big brother who you haven't seen in months. This military mom is about to give her kids the most memorable Christmas ever because today Santa is bringing them something money can't buy: a mother's love. Sorry guys, but this girl won't be dancing with you at prom today because she can't stop hugging her brother who's come home from the military. This officer told his mom he wouldn't be home for Christmas because he had arrived much earlier to make sure the surprise was perfect. This grandma thought she'd never see her grandson again, but the universe proved her wrong. I don't know how long this husky has been waiting for her owner to come home from duty, but her reaction suggests it was unbearably long. When you haven't seen your big sister for a year, you start to doubt if that day will ever come. But then, this happens. While others plan elaborate surprise homecomings for their families, this woman just shows up as if nothing happened. Spoiler alert, the result is the same. Everyone's in shock. Turn up the volume, because you're about to hear what 11 months apart from a son in the military sounds like. I'm sure every military mom dreams of coming home from work to see something like this.
5 years to her husband dies for our freedom.
This emotional guy simply couldn't hold back his tears as soon as he saw his family. This is one of those times when even a boy's father wasn't expecting such an emotional reaction from his son when he returned from service. This soldier spent hours thinking about what he'd say to his girlfriend when they finally saw each other again. But when the moment came, words were unnecessary. Today, Gavin is performing at a school event with a story about his big brother, who's currently on a special mission in Afghanistan.
Hello, Gavin.
Little does he know that his brother is much closer than he thinks. Here's how a typical day at school can turn into an unforgettable day for this military dad's daughter. These ladies can't hold back their emotions because as soon as the ceremony ends, they'll see their husband and father again, who's coming home from duty. This man is rushing here straight off the ship to make it to his daughter's performance and tell her how proud he is. Someone has prepared a special gift for this girl's quinceañera by traveling 10,000 kilometers from Japan to New Jersey to hug his sister for the first time in years. When this soldier knocked on the door, his mom immediately knew what it meant. Just look at her face when she realizes her boy is back. No emotions can compare to the ones you get from being reunited with family. This boot camp graduate's reaction is proof. The last time Daniel saw his sister was 9 months ago when he promised to surprise her with his return from deployment. Well, he kept his word. This airman is about to surprise his mom with an unexpected homecoming, but he better be ready for never-ending hugs and crying. When two officers head toward this woman during a parade, she doesn't realize that her sleepless nights are over because her sons are home. This woman can't understand why she was being filmed and asked for a group photo until she sees who's behind her. Look, she's overjoyed. This girl thought she was taking a picture with the school mascot, but check out her emotional reaction when she realizes that her soldier mom was beneath the mask this whole time. Imagine how happy it makes a soldier when they find out that the pilot taking him home is his father. But why imagine when you can see it for yourself? This girl has seen her mother in her dreams for the last time, because now mom is home and will never leave her side again. In just a second, this boy is gonna realize that his life is about to change forever, because mama is finally home. The last time Chelsea saw her brother was a year ago before his deployment to Kuwait, and now she doesn't even realize that the first thing he did after getting off the plane was rush to see her again. And on that touching note, today's episode has come to an end. All you have to do now is subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave a comment admitting how much you cried this time. See ya!